From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Well, how's your work week treating you so far? You know, it turned out to be a pretty nice Monday out there for all of us. We got to dry things out and warm things up a little bit here, especially for the inland areas, for the mountains and the valley. The coast having a difficult time completely clearing out here, but overall, you can still see that we're seeing some breaks in the clouds. There you take you up north into Crescent City. Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit more overcast. There was a point in time where there was a bit more sunshine. So kind of one of those days on the coast where you got to see a little bit of sun, but then of course the clouds began to kind of roll back in. We take a look at what we got in the valley, and of course plenty of sunshine, although later in the afternoon we did see some of these clouds begin to move on in. But still, just a beautiful fall day out there today, and I am expecting temperatures to be just a tad cooler for tomorrow, but still another gorgeous, dry day, but more clouds coming in tomorrow. So we do expect the cooler and unsettled weather to move in by the middle of the week. And we're going to talk about that in more detail and what that means for chances for rain. And we actually have the potential for some lower elevation snow than we've seen for quite a while. Now, this is not going to be a major snow event. I'm not expecting it to be. I'm not expecting a lot of snow over into these large mountain communities. But you go up, say, above 5,000 feet, you may start seeing some snow. So this is the cooler air right here that I've got my eyes on. This is going to be kind of cooling down over the next few days. And that's going to really give us a big drop in our temperatures, but also eventually may bring us some of that rain, and not to mention some of the higher elevation snow. 6 p.m. on Tuesday. You see how the clouds are rolling in, but it's still dry. So another dry fall day. Temperatures are going to be just a little bit cooler than they were today. Then we start to see some rain begin to push to the south and east. Now this is midnight, so going to Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, you can see some of the rain that we have, and see the blue, that's indicating where we're starting to see some of that snow as that colder air begins to move in. Take a look at the Warner Mountains, take a look at the mountains of Siskiyou and even Trinity County. We're beginning to see more in the way of blue than just all green on the map, indicating winter is getting closer, and we'll start seeing more of these events where we start seeing more of that snow in the higher elevations. Now, we go into noon on Wednesday. There you can kind of see some heavier rainfall coming in, not to mention that snow up above 5,000 feet. We go into Wednesday evening. Now we're seeing it mainly push down to the south and east and should dry out for the most part by Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. Now I want to show you this real quickly and show you that it is expected on this particular forecast model to be dry Thursday, Friday, through the weekend, and even into early next week. However, you may hear from other forecasts that there is a chance for rain and snow as we go into Thursday, Friday, even into the first half of the weekend. But I want to dive into that potential a little bit deeper and show you what I'm talking about and why I don't anticipate to see a lot of rain here toward the end of the week. So we're going to watch some cooler air begin to pool down from the north. That's going to be the source of colder air. So we're going to go from about 80 in the valley to the 60s. So quite a drop in our temperatures by Wednesday. Now, typically with that trough of low pressure, if there is enough moisture, you see the rain. And it looks like we could see that weather, or should we say showers, on Wednesday. Now, you see we still have reinforcing pocket of cool air in place as we go into the end of the week and even this upcoming weekend. And then by Sunday, that kind of pushes to the south. But the key to these disturbances is if we have enough moisture to work with to bring us any rain, and not to mention high elevation snow. So I want to show you the moisture content because that's important and one of the things that we look at when we're forecasting rain. How much available moisture is there? So you can see right here, this isn't a moist air mass. This right here is a very dry air mass, okay? So let's take a look at that in more detail. And we're going to take a look at Wednesday. Wednesday, we have a nice moist air mass in place, and that will allow us to probably see some rain, especially in the mountains, and of course that higher elevation snow above 5,000 to 6,000 feet. Even the valley could see a little bit of activity here. But watch what happens as we go into Thursday and Friday. We're starting to see that moist air shift more to the south. However, you can see it's just right on the southern fringe of where we are. So we have these disturbances that could possibly tap into some of that moisture, but we don't have a direct source of moisture, making it more difficult for us to see that rainfall. And then by the weekend, I mean, that drier air really begins to take shape, and we just don't have any moist air anywhere near us, allowing us to most likely stay dry. Now, does that mean we're not going to see a drop of rain after Wednesday? Not necessarily, but at this point, I'm not confident that we're going to see anything significant for Thursday, Friday, or even Saturday. All right, shifting gears, we take a look at those wave heights. So you can see as we go into your afternoon on Tuesday, not changing a whole lot, around 7 feet. Your marine forecast for your Tuesday, a little on the gusty side, north winds at 15 to 25 knots. You'll notice a small crest advisory. That's overnight into tomorrow morning. All right, so let's take a look at your forecast for tonight. We're going to be dropping down into the low 50s. It's cooling off a bit, especially in the higher elevations, but not as cold as it will be later this week. You can see about 37 for Alturas, 40 for Aden, 44 degrees for Weed, Mount Shasta about 43. So again, it's cooling off. And then there you can see for the coast in the low 50s. So let's take a look at your forecast for your Tuesday. And yes, instead of those 80-degree readings, we're going to be looking at temperatures more like the mid to upper 70s for the valley. So again, just dropping your temperatures by a few degrees, nothing major, still a pleasant day. 63 degrees for Altura, 62 for Aden. You'll also notice more cloud cover. We're going to see more clouds move in for the second half of the day on Tuesday. So let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. And we do have, of course, the chance for rain for Mount Shasta, Alturas, and Susanville by Wednesday. Notice I'm talking about rain. Again, you're going to have to go above 5 or even 6,000 feet before you start seeing that snow. Redding, Red Bluff, and Chico, I've all got you all at a slight chance for some showers here, especially Tuesday night and into Wednesday. For Thursday through the weekend, I'm keeping it dry for now. Looking at your 7-day outlook for the coast, we've got rain, inland, also the showers Wednesday, and not to mention out in Weaverville. But then by Thursday, I'm drying out and I'm keeping it dry. Now keep in mind, as we go into, say, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we've got to look out for that slight potential for some activity. But overall, I'm not expecting much. And also, you're going to see a big drop in our temperatures from Tuesday to Wednesday and keeping it cooler through the rest of the week and this upcoming weekend.